What's up, traders? The time is, what is it, 6:15 p.m. and it's Monday, November 27th. So just going over a trade, an official trade we took today in the Discord. So it was this US30 trade. Unfortunately ended up in a stop loss hit, but it was more of a stop hunt. So this was, I'll go back, so let's first start with the daily bias. So the daily bias today for me on US30 was bullish right here. Daily bias on gold bullish, daily bias on EU bullish, daily bias on the US dollar bearish. Now coming to US30, so this was the first trade right here, so I'll just apply the bar replay tool. So for US30, so let's go over this first. This first one was the official trade that I'd sent. So if we go in right here, if you see this blue zone in here, so this is a 15-minute double SAR zone. So you can see we had a test and rejection. So this was a test and rejection of a double buy SAR. So the entry was right here. However, remember, we always ask ourselves, relative to your entry, how far is the SAR zone you're trading? So right here, if we entered here as much as the trade validated here with a stop loss of 50 points or pips, the entry would have been about 20% of our stop loss. So for me, in such scenarios, I normally wait for a retest, so which is why I drew this line. So you'd expect price to retest before going up, but even then, you'd be curious to know if there's anybody who took the trade without caring about overextension, at what point would they be setting break even? So we go and draw that arrow, but we would want for price to come back for a retest of the SAR zone before giving this person a 1:1 risk to reward. So here you would want price to first start coming down, which is what actually price did. Now after price retests this zone, you now want to go down to the 1 minute time frame. So in the 1 minute time frame, remember, we don't extend our SARs. So here what we would be looking for then is so we had that retest that's right here, and then we would wait for 2 consecutive candle closures above a live 1 minute SAR, which we got right here. So the entry was right there. So here with 50 points stop loss and 100 points take profit, and I went ahead and sent that to the Discord, and I said I was buying US30 now with 0.75% risk, 100 points TP, 50 points stop loss. So here then we see how the trade played around. Now here we have to notice or know one thing. So we are about 300 points away from US30's all-time high. So if we go to like a forecast that I've been doing for US30, you can see the all-time high is around 35,684. So the price today was around 35,368, 384 area. So we are about 300 points away from the all-time high. And the practice for US30 for the last couple of years is that it ends the year by creating a new all-time high and creating a new yearly high. So for me, I was still expecting US30 to go up. However, when we get so close to the all-time high, you normally expect a lot of manipulation. So here I did know, because if you look at how price during market open, which was right here, this spike up and move back down, you expect a lot of manipulation around this area and also around this time of the year. But so in this trade, we're in this trade for a little longer than I would have wanted, because I like to be in and out of trades in under about 15 minutes. But here we'll go to the 15-minute time frame, since the entry was based off of a 15-minute setup. So you can see at some point we were pretty heavy in profit, then this candle came back up, then we tried to go back up. So at this point you can see price started reversing down, went back up to entry, and then we had this heavy bearish engulfing candle. So this is the candle that, again, after it finished or after it closed, then price went back up to around break even, and then we had this again heavy bearish candle that literally just stopped out this position and then the next candles went all the way back up. So that was the trade right there. And then I'd put in some updates, and you can see this is about 2 hours later, because I posted the trade at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I posted this update on at 11:57 a.m. Eastern time, and you can see that's an hour and a half, and all that price was doing was back and forth. So that is also how you can tell that there's a lot of manipulation. So I said Chop City today, the reason there is this back and forth is they're holding off and stop hunting before going for the all-time high. So if they're supposed to push price to the all-time high, they know that there are people who are waiting to catch these buys. But remember, one way that market makers, or one way that smart money makes their money, is by stop hunting retail traders. So this is why you would expect such, and how this back and forth can also show you that there's likelihood of being manipulated. And you can see I said stop loss hit for minus 0.75%. Now afterwards we had another entry based off of this buy momentum. So this momentum, this is based off of our momentum indicator. So what this showed me here is that at the low of this candle, and keep in mind these are 3 requirements for momentum entries, at the low of this candle, this is where buyers stepped in to show their hand and to push price up. So here, same thing, what you would expect. Now this is a different strategy from this SAR strategy right here that we got stopped out. Now this one, you would expect price to come back, in this case since it was a buy, to come back to the low of this candle and then push up. Now I sent this as a trade idea before the fact. So if we go to trade ideas, you'll see that, oh, and just to show you guys, I did record that as a loss today. So you can see here, Monday we have minus 0.75%, and overall for this month we are at minus 3.75%. so we have about 3 more trading days for November. So hopefully we can get out of this loss right here, because we haven't had a losing month since I started this community in March. So every month has been positive. So hopefully in the next 3 days we can find a setup to get us out of this hole, but we're not going to force anything. Again, these are just the official trades. Personally, I still have more wins for this month, because keep in mind, I don't send out every trade as an official trade. So I went ahead and recorded that, and here I sent that trade idea right here, and this was before the fact. So I said buyers have shown their hand with the momentum signal. Looks like we may have gotten stop hunted, because you can see we literally got stop hunted, and from here I was actually expecting US30 to go back up. So I sent that as a trade idea. I didn't send it as a official trade, it's just a trade idea, but there are still people who take trade ideas. Personally, I was in an EU, I was also in an EU buy, which was also let's see where it is, this trade right here. So I was actually at that point still in an EU trade, so I didn't send it as an official trade, took it just by myself. But here for that US30 trade, so you can see, so you'd expect price to come and tap here and spike up. So look at literally what happened. Price came to that zone right there, tapped, picked up those buyers, and then went back up. So for this trade, anybody who's taken it, they should be at break even, and you can see exactly as I marked up. So unfortunately we got stopped out or stop hunted by that first trade, but for me I actually started off the day up 2% for the day, because I'd taken a gold buy last week on Friday, and yesterday gold spiked up and the trade hit TP for a gain of 2%. So with this trade, first US30 trade, personally I risk 1% per trade nowadays, but I was at this point, even with the US30 loss, I was only down like I was actually up 1%. So if we go to the Discord, you'll see my results right here. So this was the morning, that gold buy that I won with, or I started the week off with, and then you'll see this is the US30 loss that I took, the one that I just showed you guys. And I didn't take this one, I didn't take this last one, The reason I did not take that is because I'm in this EU that I just showed you guys. So I'm almost at take profit for this EU trade. So at this point, even with the US30 loss, I was up about 1% for the day, because I was up 2% beginning of the day, lost 1% on gold, meaning I was up 1%. If this EU trade hits take profit for me, this will be a 2% gain, and I would be like up 3% for the day. So it's all about finding those good trades and those nice setups. For this US30 trade, this is one of the trades there's really nothing we could have done to avoid it, because you can see it's not like we got taken out at a loss and then US30 kept dipping down. So as much as in some of the trades stop loss might get triggered for us, we are not normally too wrong. So I think it's the amount of times where our stop loss has been hit and the price keeps going in the direction of the stop loss hit have been so minute. So most of the times when we do take a loss, it's normally stop hunting and then price goes back in the direction that we're expecting. So for this particular trade, there's nothing really we could have done about it, and it's just one of those things you have to deal with in trading. But anyway, we'll see what the rest of the week has planned for us, and I'll catch you guys in the next trade recap. Peace. What's up, traders? So today is Wednesday, November 29th, and it's currently 11:32 a.m. So looking at a trade, we took two trades today. Unfortunately, this ended up as a losing trade for minus 0.75% risk. We took two trades, two US30 buys. One ended up at a loss, the other one ended up at break even. Now here, starting off with the daily bias, US30 daily bias is bullish. Our bias on gold was bullish, EU bullish, the US dollar bearish. So the only setups we had today was US30. We had an EU setup. We didn't take this. I know it's currently running back and forth, but here for this US30 trade, if we go on the hourly time frame, we had this break and continuation entry. So with this break and continuation entry, the trade validated before market open, so before New York open. So here, that's normally a red flag. Like 30 minutes before market open, you don't want to trade or enter trades before then. So here, you'd have waited for a retracement into the zone and found an entry on the 1 minute time frame. So which is what we did. This is the 1 minute time frame. I had to do a bar replay in order to see that, but this was the 1 minute retracement. And you can see here, if we go down to the 1 minute, we would have waited for two consecutive candle closures above a live SAR, and you go ahead and enter the trade there. So which is what we did here. So on the live session, I said I was buying US30, 0.75% risk, and 100 points TP, 50 points stop loss, and started off back and forth, but eventually the trade got stopped out right there. So at that point, we were already at minus 0.75. Now on the same area or same zone, this hourly zone, and this was the zone that this was ideally that trade that I'd marked up there, so that's fine. So that was the break and continuation. But then also we had the continuation candle in the previous setup became a test and rejection. So test, rejection setup. So test, candle, rejection. So of course trade would have validated up here, but of course red flag is overextension. So we always wait for, or I prefer and ask people to wait for a retracement into the SAR zone and then go down to the 1 minute time frame and find your entry there. So with this entry, that's the next entry that we took right here. So we were waiting for price to come back down, which it did, and then at this point we were waiting for a live 1 minute candle entry or a live 1 minute SAR confirmation. So we needed two consecutive candles to close above there, so which was that trade. So this was the trade, and I'll go back to the stop loss it had. So at this point trade went up. At this point, the trade was at had achieved a 1:1 risk to reward. So I went ahead and asked people to set break even. So I was hoping for a push up on this, but the trade came back and took us out at break even right there. So those are the two trades. So one was at minus 0.75% for the day, and the other one ended up as break even for the day. So we'll see. So this might be, so today is the second to the last trading day of the month, and so this might be our first losing month, overall losing month. So we'll see what the next one, the next month gives us. So this is common. I was hoping not to have a losing month during this year, but that's what trading is. Nobody wins 100% of the times, and you know, we just have to find what we did. If there's anything we could have improved on, then we do. But anyway, and I did, you know, take those trades. You can see right here, those are the two US 30 trades I was in. Now yesterday was a nice, we didn't take any official trades, but if you look at the Discord, because I traded yesterday, I had all wins yesterday. So this is the other part, right? If you only, or if people only join the live session and don't understand how to take the strategies by themselves, you can see that on the days that I come to trade on the live session, I may have a losing day on the live session, but when I'm trading away from the live session, I may have a winning day. So as much as even for this month the return might be lower overall, like for the official trades, personally in my personal accounts, I'm actually net positive for my personal accounts. So you wouldn't, it's critical for people to learn how to utilize the strategies, so that whether I'm not doing a live session or whether I'm away, you can still do wins with or without me. The live sessions should ideally be complementary and not primary to your trading. But anyway, that's it for today. We'll see if we get any other setups for the day, but other than that, I will catch you guys in the next review. Peace.